All right, hello everybody. This is a video on how to use free open source software to grab images from Google Earth and apply a georeferencing to them, meaning to produce a GeoTIFF image. So more specifically, I'm using QGIS version 3.28 here, which you can download for free. You have to just Google it. And then the first thing we have to do is we have to select an area in Google Earth. So what I will do, I will zoom in here on Chicago. So maybe this is the zoom level we want to accomplish here. And we have to disable a couple of labels here to get a cleaner map. So I will just disable all those labels here. And very importantly, you have to make sure to disable the terrain option here, because if you have those enabled, then especially if you are in a mountainous area, Google will try to warp your surfaces to conform to the terrain. So you definitely don't want that. There's another option I like to disable, and this is here under the Tools option menu, and this is the automatically tilt and enter ground level view. So I want to disable that because this will otherwise again tilt our map. So once we have disabled that, we can click OK. Then we want to make sure that our map is indeed leveled by clicking the down arrow here until our map starts turning. So if the map would be tilted for whatever reason, if you click the down arrow here, you can see that it untilts and then it usually starts slowly to turn, which means now it is leveled. And also the last thing we have to do is click the north button here, double click it, which orients our map north-south. So if this is the zoom level we want to have, the next step is to produce markers in this map, which we then can use in QGIS to produce our georeference. So I like to produce a new folder here. So by right clicking my places, add folder, and let's call this folder markers and say OK. And we go into this folder here, we can then start placing markers. So using those marker signs here, we can place markers, and let's label this marker A. The names ultimately don't matter much. And we can also choose what kind of marker we want to use, and you want to use a marker where it is easy to find the center of and which is also not too intrusive in your image, because ultimately those markers will remain in your georeferenced image. I guess you could potentially find natural markers in your image and then just remember the coordinates of those, but this is the way I typically do it. So I like to use this marker here. And we also want to make this marker fairly small, so we can reduce the scale here. And then we can move this marker in one of the corners here. So if you hover over here, you see your little hand right from the open hand to transform to this little finger here. And if we have this, we can then move this marker somewhere where you can ultimately find it again. So here is one marker. And let me say OK and OK. And then we need a second marker. We call this marker B. And this marker I will disable this B here, because this is also more intrusive than it needs to be. So by going to style and color here, we can actually reduce the label size all the way down to 0, which ultimately makes it not be visible. And then again, make sure that your finger turns into this little finger hand here, and we can move this into another corner and say OK. We actually go to this marker here, and again, I guess if I click properties, I can again also make this one here a 0. And then we need two more of those markers. Let's call this one A, B, C. Oops. Properties. And make this one, move it. Let's say we move this one maybe here. Okay, and one more marker, A, B, C, D. Let's move this marker somewhere down here. And okay, so now we have our markers here, and all we have to do now is actually export this folder, so we can then import this folder into QGIS by right-clicking again, and we go to Save Places As, and then you can save it wherever. So let's actually, I guess we can just overwrite this file here. And alright, so now we should have those markers saved. And the next step we have to do, we have to actually export those image here. So we again go to File, Save Image. And you have to be a little bit careful because sometimes this moves a little bit and then your markers will disappear. So we also can maximize our screen area here. So I will zoom out a little bit to make sure I have those markers here. Right? So here is 1, 2, then 3, and somewhere up here should be the 4th one. We can also change our map options a little bit because I don't want the legend and all those things in here. So I can actually disable all of those features here, and I can also select the image size. So in my case, I just go to the maximum resolution here. This is a very, very good resolution, so you have lots of ability to zoom in without losing details here. So, and then we save that image, and we give it a sensible name. In this case, I call it Chicago. And this will, depending on your internet speed and computer speed, take some time. But once the video is saved, you should then have your markers and your image file here in this folder. And at this point, we are done with Google Earth. So now we can go to QGIS, which I have here. And now we have to import our markers, which you use this Open Data Source button here. And we will import a vector file, which is typically the default. And then we just have to navigate to our markers right here and say add, and you should see then that a new layer will pop up here. So if you say add new layer, now we have our markers here, so we can close this window, and you should see your 4 markers. And then we also need to add our image, and the image actually has moved from older versions into this layer menu here. We need to use our georeferencer. So click georeferencer, then add a new raster file. So we go here and we add this file. And now we have to find those little markers here. So we need to zoom in here. Where did I have it? Alright, so here is this marker file. So zoom in reasonably tight because we have to find the center of this marker file by clicking on here, add point, and then kind of count the pixels here. And I guess this would be the center pixel. And we say okay, and we need to reference this one to our map, and then this is this pixel here. There is one option you can find under project snap option, and make sure this is enabled. Right, if I disable the snap options here, oops, you can see as I hover over this marker here, nothing will happen. But if I enable it, then it snaps onto this marker. So this is definitely convenient. And we say okay, and this references our first point. You will also see those points are referenced now here. And then we have to go through and do this for all 4 of our markers. I'll move this into the center here. There we go. Another one. Find the center pixel here. And I will not be just terribly careful here, because this is just a demonstration. Obviously, if you do this for your own images, you might want to spend a little bit of time to center those well. And again, I need to click this one. Okay, zooming out, finding our marker here, adding another point in the center right here. And this one references this to this one. Okay, and you can see here a little bit, there is some distortion in the image, which QGIS tries to compensate later on. So if you get long bars here, this means that maybe some distortion is in the image which needs to be compensated. And the fourth one, which we had somewhere, if I remember this right, here. So here's our fourth marker. Again, we need to grab the center here and reference it to the map and say OK. And that is essentially it. You can zoom out here a little bit. So you can now see we have our 4 markers here. We need to do one more thing, and that is we need to go into our settings file and say that he is supposed to save a world file, create world file only. So we need to enable this. Say OK. And one thing which is important is that we have the same target coordinate system than we have in our image. So in this case, I use the VGS 84 coordinate system, which is kind of a coordinate system which is good for the entire world. So we go out here, right? So make sure that this coordinate system here, which it shows you here, is a good coordinate system for the entire world, matches the one you use in your georeferencer. So here we go, and all that is to be done now is to actually click Start Georeferencing, and it will take a little while. And when successful, you should have another layer pop up here, and at this point you can close the georeferencer. I don't know if you need to save this. Let's say discard, and close this one here, and we can actually now zoom in here again, right onto our markers. And if you hide this layer, you should see that those markers are right underneath. We also can move this one here down, and then you have the markers on top of your new layer here. And you can see within like 1, 2, or 3 pixels, we have this one here referenced. You can also go down here. And similarly here, right, within 1, 2, 3, 4 pixels. And you can check the quality of your referencing here throughout your image. Obviously, if you're more careful how you place your markers, you might get better results. But then really the last thing you have to do in order to produce your GeoTIFF image is simply right click on here and go to Export, Save As. We want to save this as a GeoTIFF. And one thing that is important is to actually give him a coordinate system. So in this case, again, you need to use the coordinate system you have been using for all your referencing. In this case, it is again the 4326 VGW84 reference system. And it gives you a little bit of a warning sign that because it is a global reference system, it is maybe not the most precise referencing. So if you choose a reference system which is a more local system, you might be able to produce better results. Anyhow, that is what I've been using here. And then ultimately we need to put in a file name. And I already have done this before without actually choosing a coordinate system. So that's why I have this image here already, but I can obviously override that and click OK. And then you should see here the progress bar. It's saving your image, and ultimately you have a third layer here, which then is your image. If you then go to your folder, you should see that now you have a georeferenced image of what you have just worked on. So that's it. Hopefully this will be helpful. Goodbye.